Welcome to the Association 100 podcast. The A100 podcast is an extension of our Association 100 bi-monthly newsletter that focuses on best practices, top trends, helpful ideas, and smart strategies and tactics that work in the world of associations. The podcast will feature meaningful conversations with association professionals across the country, taking a deeper dive into trending topics, offering insights that both inform and inspire.
Hello and welcome back for our latest episode of the Association 100 podcast. I'm Keaveny, Hewitt, and I'm joined by my co-host, Meghan, Henning. We are live from ASAE right now, and we're excited to welcome our guest, Gail Kulp, Executive Director of the CITO Foundation. Gail, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks so much. I really appreciate it. I'm excited to be here.
So for full transparency, the CITO Foundation is a client of ours, and we have loved partnering on one of their newest initiatives, which is the Life Jacket Challenge. To start off, Gail, can you tell our listeners what the Life Jacket Challenge is?
Sure. The Life Jacket Challenge is just that. It's can you put on your life jacket in 30 seconds or less? And it's not just putting on, but can you find your life jacket and put it on? Because most boaters don't actually wear their life jackets. They keep them somewhere, like underneath their seats or in a locker. But you need to be able to find your life jacket and put it on in 30 seconds or less. And if you do, fantastic. Even if you don't, we still have prizes for you.
Exactly. So what was the inspiration behind this? What inspired you to create this?
The biggest inspiration is just the number of accidents that we're seeing. Life jackets save lives, but really only if they're worn. And 3/4 of the fatal boating accident victims have drowned. So we know that life jackets are saving lives, but 85% of those people are just not wearing a life jacket. And most people don't wear a life jacket on a boat unless it's required. And they think they can swim, they think that they can get through okay, but if something happens, if they get knocked unconscious or something else, then they're not going to be swimming. So a life jacket's going to save their life.
Exactly. And I know the Life Jacket Challenge has been going on for a bit now, so what kind of outcomes have you observed so far since its launch?
So far, we've had about 25 groups that have completed the Life Jacket Challenge, and we've been posting their videos on social media with the hashtag STF Life Jacket Challenge for the CITO Foundation Life Jacket Challenge. And the videos are getting tons of likes and shares. We've even opened a TikTok account, which is new for the CITO Foundation. And we're including lots of prizes. We have over $300 in prizes, which include inflatable life jackets and t-shirts and whistles and electronic flares and a whole lot more.
Yeah, it's been really cool to see all the different videos too. I know you had a whole lacrosse team do it, you've had moms and kids do it, you've had everyone. And that's really important because that's the whole message, is that no matter how old you are, you should have a life jacket on at all times. And just because you think you can find it and put it on in 30 seconds, it is definitely a lot harder than it seems.
Yeah, absolutely. Gail, like you mentioned some of the statistics, and I've seen some of the statistics from the U.S. Coast Guard on boating incidents and drowning incidents, which are really concerning. How does the Life Jacket Challenge simulate a realistic boating emergency situation? And what specific lessons have your participants gained from the challenge?
Boating statistics really show what we're seeing. We get the boating accident reports twice a week. And every week they come out twice a week, and we see all these tragedies that happen. We see people dying. We see people getting hurt by being hit by the propeller. Or we see people that luckily got saved just in time. And we know that all those on-water emergencies, if the person had just been wearing a life jacket, a lot of the tragedies that we're seeing wouldn't have happened. Because in an on-water emergency, you really only have about 30 seconds to get off your boat if something bad is happening. And in that time, you're looking for the radio, you're looking for your cell phone, you're making sure that your kids are okay, you're looking for the emergency flares, you're looking for all the different things that you need, and trying to find your life jacket and put it on. And as our videos with the Life Jacket Challenge show, some people can't do it in 30 seconds. They just can't get the buckles and the zippers and everything done, plus make sure that it's the right size.
I know we've always compared it to putting on a seatbelt. And if you're in the middle of a car crash, you wouldn't think to put a seatbelt on right then, and that wouldn't do much. So it's the same thing.
Now, do you have a feel-good story for our listeners about something that has gone well and the significance of this initiative?
We've actually had a couple. One that is close to my heart because I have a dog is that Captain Lisa at Freedom Boat Club in Jacksonville did the CITO Challenge with her dog. So she put the life jacket, she called her dog over, put the life jacket on her dog and said, you gotta put the life jacket on so we can go boating. And the dog was like so excited, but she got the life jacket on in the 30 seconds and it was awesome. So
I love it.
I just love that because I'm a dog owner. But awesome example came from Captain Sandy Yawn, and she's from the Bravo show, Below Deck. And so she's like our big famous excitement, and she did the life jacket challenge with her partner Leah. And Leah, who actually isn't the professional boater, she got her life jacket on faster than Sandy.
Of course.
Leah passed the challenge, and Captain Sandy
so
just congratulated Leah.
I love it.
It's too funny. And I know, as you mentioned, the Life Jacket Challenge is not only about educating boaters and letting them know that you need to wear a life jacket at all times, but it also really encourages people to actively participate in the challenge and share their experiences in social media. So how has this interactive approach enhanced the whole entire campaign's reach and engagement?
Our overall goal has been for the Life Jacket Challenge to go viral. And right now it hasn't. Most stuff doesn't. And so we realized that getting people just to see the video and interact with it is our biggest goal. And just on May 1st, when the challenge launched, we had over 2,800 people on Facebook and 17,000 people on Instagram that just saw that first post. And that was
amazing.
May 1st. We're still collecting data. We're still trying to figure out all of the details. It's still going on through the summer, so we know that we still have lots of time. But just super exciting. And the fact that we now have a TikTok account.
I know, super exciting.
Yes. The CETO Foundation has achieved a lot, like a really significant impact. And you all are a small staff. I know that our listeners range in different sizes in association. How do you and your team continue to be creative, be innovative, while managing your resources when there's only 2 people? That's a hard task.
It is, and thank you for recognizing that. Kim and I are a really great 2-woman team. We have weekly meetings and we try to stay on top of things and discuss deadlines, discuss projects, but we also laugh a lot. And I think that's what you have to do at the end of the day.
I think it is the secret weapon.
Yeah, you have to realize that we're all human and that other things are going to happen, and guess what? We're going to just laugh our way through it or work as hard as we can when we can, and yet we're still going to have families and we're still going to have lives. But we also have lots of awesome help, and from you all at Onward and Upward, we also have help from our social media manager at Ampersand Marketing, and our for-profit parent company, CETO Services International. They provide so much of in-kind support to us, and even though we have limitations on what we can do with our grant funds, we try and find creative solutions to use the funding as effectively as possible so that we can really get the work done.
That's great. Can you talk about any strategies that you employ to prioritize and execute these projects with having such a small staff?
One of the things that I always try to do is get multiple quotes on everything, because even though we're working with one company who's doing some fulfillment and warehousing, another company might be able to give us a better deal on printing something. So if we can get a better deal, I want to make sure we can do that. And then looking for sponsors that can help provide some additional funding to allow us to get projects done really makes a difference. And then our third is timing. Like if we're thinking of doing a photo or video shoot, we look for places that we can do it on the water that's going to have year-round boating, so that I can do it at a time that is convenient for me and convenient for the money, and not convenient for the time when the boats are actually going to be on the water. Because then I can get it done cheaper, most likely. And if that doesn't happen, then we look for options that are right near our offices in Long Island, so that we can get what we need done with the same outcomes. But when I travel, I look for ways that I can save money. I pack my breakfasts, I pack oatmeal, I look for cheaper hotels, and do anything that I can so that all the project money as possible can go towards that, instead of just me traveling or paying for breakfast at a hotel.
I think that's great advice.
I know. Amazing advice.
Yes.
So now switching away from association questions to some just for fun lightning questions. The first one is, where did you grow up?
I grew up about 45 minutes northwest of Baltimore in a little tiny town that had more cows than people back then.
That's awesome. What is your go-to Starbucks order?
It is a chai tea latte with skim milk hot.
I'm also a huge chai tea fan. It's exciting to find another. If you won the lottery tomorrow, would you still work?
I would. My husband and I joked about it because right now it's $1 billion, and we said we would still work, but we would start our own foundation and then hire staff to help us with the day-to-day. But we definitely want to be able to help others, and we can't outlive $1 billion that it's worth right now.
It's so true.
If we're lucky enough, then that would be the goal.
It's a beautiful answer.
Nobody would know because we're not going to announce it.
Yes, no.
Yes,
Your
very
secret's
smart.
safe with us. What is the last show you binge watched?
Well, the last binge show I watched was Ted Lasso.
I still need to watch it.
Second time.
Such a great show.
My favorite.
And then what is one food you can't live without?
It's two, lasagna and chocolate.
Ooh.
Not together, of course.
Not together. Actually, Olive Garden used to have chocolate lasagna to dessert. It was amazing.
Really?
It had like
was.
cream cheese and chocolate layers. It was amazing, but they haven't had it in like 20 years.
Okay.
It's a petition to bring it back.
Yes.
And then what is your bucket list travel destination?
Right now it's Hawaii. I was there for a conference in 2010 and it was amazing, but I worked and I didn't have the time and the money to stick around extra time. I'd love to be able to go back, take my husband, do the tours, see the stuff, and even possibly take a cruise around the islands.
Oh, but that'd be beautiful.
So
That sounds
that
nice.
was my goal.
Yes.
Awesome. Gail, thank you so much for joining us today and giving our listeners a closer look into all the exciting initiatives and projects you guys have going on. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Thank you for having me. Have a great day.
Thank you, you too.
And that's a wrap on today's episode. Thanks for listening to the Association 100 podcast, brought to you by the A100 publishing team, powered by Onward and Upward Marketing and Communications. You can subscribe to the Association 100 podcast on Spotify so you'll never miss out, or listen via our website at theassociation100.com. Follow us for all the latest insights and trends impacting the world of associations. Thanks for tuning in.